Welcome to the Maps for Kids Showcase. I'm your host, Tierney Tinnin. For our latest installment of the showcase, we're going to take you inside Buchanan Elementary School to show you the changes implemented thanks to the Maps for Kids project. Buchanan Elementary School, home of the Bears, is in northwest Oklahoma City and serves students in grades pre-K through 5th. It was built in 1951. The school was in dire need of improvements and upgrades to serve the nearly 550 students. After 18 months of planning, design, and construction, the school held its formal grand opening celebration and is now enjoying the newly upgraded facility. Joining us on the showcase today is Buchanan Elementary School Principal Scott Kaufmann. Thank you for being on the show today.
You're welcome.
It's the first time, so we're glad to have you here. Let's start off by painting a picture of what the school looked like prior to construction.
Well, as you mentioned, the school was built in 1951, and it was built state-of-the-art in 1950s. And unfortunately, for the next 40 years, it stayed a 1950s school. We had 100-watt light bulbs in the hallway. It was dark. There were just things that were falling apart after 40 years of constant use.
Well, as you were planning and working with the architects, what was one of the major goals you really wanted to have in that school with this new design?
Well, having the 1950s architecture is very important to me. So the new addition to the building has that same design and style. But more than that, we wanted to have open spaces for the students. We wanted it to be bright and cheerful and very, very welcoming for parents and everyone.
Well, we noticed that you've mentioned the 100-watt light bulbs, and also you wanted it to be bright and cheery. So that was also something that was important to you. How are you able to make sure that that was included into the design?
Well, I attended every single MAPS meeting that we had and made sure that we stayed on track. The architect was great. He worked with me and came up with some great designs, especially for the public areas of the building. They're open, they're bright, they're cheery. The floor design is wonderful. It just is so welcoming now.
I love the colors that you'll see on the hallways when you walk Buchanan. It looks really like an elementary school, which is what it's supposed to look like. Just a few statistics for the folks. You received 5 additional classrooms, security cameras, and new bathrooms. But something that was really important was the removal of the circle driveway, which had been there since, I guess, 1951.
Right, and that was on Utah Street, and everyone knew when you came to Buchanan, you go to Utah Street to come into the building. And since we remodeled the building and moved the offices to 18th Street, it was very important that we build a new front to the building. And so having that circle drive there would have meant that people would still pull in. And now where the old office is, are classrooms. So that would have been disturbing to have people coming to that door knocking to try to get into the building. Another
area that I noticed is that you redesigned the cafeteria. Tell us about that.
Well, the cafeteria, believe it or not, was in the hallway.
Oh.
And so it was a little difficult to walk from one end of the building to the other. So we moved the cafeteria into what we had as a cafegimatorium now, and we opened up the wall and made it so that it's actually like a cafeteria entrance now. So you just walk in from the cafeteria. The hallway is free and clear now, so we're not out in the hallway any longer.
Well, I know that people at home may not think that it's a really important tool to have. The teachers have their own space within the school, and MAPS was able to give that to your teachers. So talk about that great teachers lounge.
Well, for so many years, we had to use the teachers lounge for a classroom. So this is the first time the teachers actually have a place where they can sit down and relax during that time that they have for planning, work on their plans, collaborate. So it made a big difference for the staff to have that space.
Well, we're not done discussing Buchanan Elementary School. When we come back, we'll look at how the school is partnering with several community groups to meet the needs of those students. But first, you know, school started on August 1st before anyone else in the state. Here's a look at some of the students on their very first day of school. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Maps for Kids Showcase. Oklahoma City Public Schools is looking for volunteers and mentors to support the 43,000 students we serve. For more information on how you can help out, call 587-0234. And we've been chatting with Buchanan Elementary School Principal Scott Kaufmann, and in the beginning I said you were K through 5th, but you're actually K through 6th grade.
That's correct. We were able to add 6th grade because of the addition to our building.
Well, that's great to know. I'm glad that I was able to correct that for you, and it's even more kids that you'll have an opportunity to educate.
Right.
And you've been there for 14 years as principal at Buchanan, and you've done a great job of really bringing in the community to help out those students in K through 6th grade. Tell us about some of the volunteer organizations that really help with you guys.
Well, we have two big partners, and one of them is the American Fidelity Assurance Company, which is an insurance company. They're on Classen Boulevard. And they send between 40 and 50 tutor mentors to our building every week. And it is a fantastic program. When we started, they asked me how many I'd like, and I said one for every student. And they've tried. They've really worked at that. The other partner that we have is Portland Avenue Baptist Church. And we have a Whiz Kids program with them, but not only that they provide that program, but they also provide school supplies for all of my students every year. So being partners in the neighborhood is extremely important.
Tell us why that is so important. A lot of people think that they should just drop their kids off and let the school handle everything, but as a school district, our kids need much more than that.
Well, the community partners can provide things that the school district can't with our funds. They have resources. People are resources, and those people coming into the building provide a service to the students, a role model. It's important for students to see beyond their parents, who are their role models, but people who are working in the community, providing and serving the community and doing things that are important in the community. And so those become role models for our students.
And Mr. Kaufmann is a veteran educator. You've been there at Buchanan for 14 years, and you also serve on the district level Safe Schools committee that we have. So tell the folks a little bit about your role in that and what that group does.
Well, I represent the elementary principals, and some of the things that we're very proud of from that committee is that we started this year the new line for bullying. And that's 587 stop. And that's extremely important. We talk about the major issues that are going on in the school district, and we work through them. We have representation from the police department and the fire department and all over the district. I mean, our concern is safety for our students, whether it's on a daily basis or at the football games or wherever our students are. We need to be concerned about safety. And that's what that committee talks about.
Right. Thank you very much, Mr. Kaufmann. You've offered so much insight, so thank you for joining us on the showcase today. And next up, we're going to speak with Charlie Stewart, a teacher at Buchanan. She'll talk about how the staff continues to deliver high-performing students. But first, let's take a look at the new Oakridge Elementary School. It's located in South Oklahoma City. Oakridge Elementary is home of the Stars and was built way back in 1965. Currently, close to 350 students walk these halls and spend the day in these classrooms. Thanks to Maps for Kids funds, the school now has a new wing, a shiny, new, impressive library, and classrooms for students and staff. We'll be right back.
Could you stand a little fun in your life? Then look no further. The Oklahoma River Cruises tour the beautiful Oklahoma River. You can enjoy a fun-filled, family-friendly, climate-controlled adventure you won't forget, offering public cruises, exciting theme cruises, and private cruises tailored to your needs. Book your fun-filled cruise today. Log on to okrivercruises.com. Oklahoma River Cruises. Get on board.
Welcome back. This is a look at an exciting new partnership with John Marshall High School and Tinker Federal Credit Union. TFCU recently opened an in-school branch that employs John Marshall High School students and services the district and school employees. The students are able to perform withdrawals, deposits, even loan applications. Thanks to TFCU for providing students with real-life experience that will prepare them for the future. Well, welcome back, and joining us now is Charlie Stewart, a teacher at Buchanan. Thank you so much for being on the showcase today.
Thank you.
Glad to have you. Let's talk about, over the years, Buchanan students have been performing at really high levels. How are the teachers and the staff able to continue that each year?
They really pay attention to the students and make sure that they're on track, and when they're not, they do the research and collaborate to try and find new ways to reach them and bring them up.
Well, with this new building, do you feel like the students have a new sense of pride at being a Buchanan Bear?
I think so. I notice that they walk down the hall and make sure they don't touch the walls and keep things nice and clean.
And they're picking up paper and all that stuff.
Picking up paper and all of those things.
Oh, well, that's great. Has the school benefited from any technology upgrades as part of the Maps for Kids funds?
We have a computer lab where the students, we can get a classroom of students on the computer at the same time to maybe do programs or testing or whatever we need to do. And that's made it a little easier.
As a teacher, you've been there through the 18 months of construction and renovation. How are you able to keep the kids focused with all of the changes going on?
Well, we acknowledged that it was noisy and that it was different, and we took the time to talk about what might be making those noises, and just then it became a normal part of life, and they didn't notice until there was a new noise, and then we'd stop and talk about what that new noise might be.
It's like teachable lessons that
Yes.
you're able to give those kids during that renovation.
Yes, yes.
Thank you so much, Ms. Stewart, for
Thank
being
you.
on the show today.
All right.
I want to thank Mr. Kaufmann as well for joining us on the Maps for Kids Showcase. This show will air monthly on City Channel 20 and highlight programs, improvements, and partnerships that affect our city schools. For more information on the Maps for Kids project, visit okc.gov, and for more information on Oklahoma City Public Schools, visit okcps.org. I'm your host, Tierney Tinnin. We'll see you next time.